and welcome to the big show. It's the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio for the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. Big show coming your way. A lot of high school football from across the Inland Empire as we break down some of the big games from last week. We look ahead to week 5, which is kind of like a light diet version of high school football. We've probably got, I'd say about a third of the teams playing this Friday. So a lot of teams taking those byes before they get to league play. It's about to get real next week. Coming up later in the show, we're going to break down that showdown between San Bernardino Valley College and Riverside City College. The bell game, the Victory Bell, and RCC #1 in the state, #1 in the country, and the Tigers hold off a very good Wolverines team. We're going to talk about that. We also have Centennial head coach Matt Logan joining us live a little bit later in the show. But right now, we're talking Murrieta Valley football. And before we get to our live interview with our very special guest, we have our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. And let's roll our fancy graphic because this guy was big time. It's Murrieta Valley quarterback Brandon Rose, the Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. He was fantastic in that comeback win against Oaks Christian. 4th and 1 with 1:30 left in the game. He ran in the game-winning 33-yard touchdown. And, he had a couple touchdown passes in the game as well. 275 through the air, 3 touchdowns, a pair of touchdowns to the big man, Jack Yari. Emilio Valencia had one as well. This was the game-winning score, which would be the eventual game winner, 39-38 against Oaks Christian, as Rose runs it in. And a big win for Murrieta Valley. It's Brandon Rose, our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. And looky here, look who is standing by live. It's our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week, the quarterback of your Murrieta Valley Nighthawks, quarterback Brandon Rose. Brandon, hey, welcome to the show. We appreciate you jumping on with us. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing fantastic. I know you're in your car, and you're such a polite, respectful young man. I said, hey, you're pulling over, right? You're like, yeah, I'm already pulling over. I'm going to pull the car over. I'm in a safe place. So I appreciate you doing that as well.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Brandon, let's talk about this Murrieta Valley team because you guys are off to a hot start. You beat a very good Oaks Christian team, and I know the Nighthawks and Oaks Christian have had some battles the last couple of years. How big was that win just in terms of just maybe some confidence and momentum for this Nighthawks team now going forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it was a big win going into the league. It gave us a good confidence. We had a great week of practice, great week of preparation to come out and play our best against Oaks Christian on Friday night.
Now, what's it like having a big Jack Yari as a target? Because you guys, I would assume like he's kind of that security blanket. You always know he's going to be there. If you put the ball in this area, he's going to make that catch. Is it a nice luxury to have a guy so talented like Jack?
Yeah, it's always great having a big, tall tight end. He can run routes, he can do blocking, he can do anything. It's just great having him to be able to throw the ball to him. It's just a great thing to have him on my team and just be able to throw the ball to him.
Hey, Brandon, how has practice been this week when you come off a big emotional comeback win like that? I know you got Buena Park coming up this week, but how has practice been this week as you lead up to your final non-league game?
Practices, we've had a good week of practice so far. We just know there's always things to improve on. We had a great win, but we got to come to work on Monday, forget the past. We just got to come prepare for Buena Park, and we just got to get ready for league play and just things like that. We just got to stay focused. There's always things that we can work on. Nothing's perfect, so there's just things we can work on during the week that we can perfect.
Hey, Brandon, let's go back to that game-winning touchdown that you ran in against Oaks Christian. It was 4th and 3 with about a minute and a half left in the game. Was it by design that you were going to take off and run? Was it kind of a broken play and you saw some space? Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, it was just a simple play-action play. Some things didn't go as planned, and we just had to scramble, make the most of the play that they gave us. So I just did the best that I can to help our team out, and they did a great job helping me with scramble, blocking downfield. So just the team just did a great job. You know, every play is not going to be perfect. You just got to go with the fly. Just go with the flow, and just things worked out.
Hey, Brandon, I also wanted to ask you this because, you know, Hank Bachmeier, obviously Inland Empire legend. He did so many great things for Murrieta Valley. Was it tough following in his footsteps, or did you just simply embrace that opportunity knowing, you know, this was a very good Murrieta Valley team? Coach Wilson's great. He's got a great staff. You guys were kind of set up to continue kind of what Hank and the Nighthawks were doing already, and you guys haven't skipped a beat.
It was great coming in as a freshman last year and learning behind him. He taught me some really good things, some really good life lessons. It was great learning behind him, how he's a captain on the field. And he's helped me a lot last year into growing into becoming the starter this year and hoping to lead my team to league championship.
Yeah, and speaking of league, Brandon, I mean, Temecula Valley's improved. Great Oaks off to a strong start. Murrieta Mesa is always going to be tough. Of course, you know, Vista Murrieta. I don't want to leave anybody out here, but, man, the Southwestern League from top to bottom is always such a challenge. What do you think it'll take for you guys, for Murrieta Valley, to bring home another first-place finish in the Southwestern League?
It's just gonna take us playing as a team, playing as one unit. We just gotta come in week in, week out, depending on the outcome. Doesn't matter. We just gotta come in every week on Monday, get ready to work, and preparing for the team that we have to play, and just get ready for Friday night, and just stay focused.
All right, Brandon, last question. What were you bumping in your car before you jumped on the Inland Sports Show Live? What were you blasting in there?
I was just playing some John Mayer, you know, just vibing music, you know. That was pretty much it.
I mean, you look like you're going straight to the beach right now. It looks like you're just chilled out.
Yeah, no, I just finished up football practice.
Wait, how many bracelets, how many bands do you have on?
I got like 6 or 7, something like that.
Do you put your wristband over it in the games? I mean, what do you do with all those?
We actually don't do a wristband. We don't.
So you just take them all off?
Wristband. Yep.
Well, Brandon, we appreciate the time, man. Congrats on that huge win against Oaks Christian. That was a big signature win here early on in your career. Best of luck going forward, especially against Buena Park this Friday. And hopefully we'll do this again down the road as you guys are making a playoff run here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate it.
All right.
All right, that's Murrieta Valley quarterback Brandon Rose breaking it down, bumping John Mayer. Who knew? And he's got a lot of wristbands on there as well. And he's also our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. Huge game again for Brandon, running in the game-winning touchdown. Had a couple touchdown passes in that comeback win. I think it was 20 points, so 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to come back. Not just on some run-of-the-mill team. We're talking about a comeback on Oaks Christian. And because of the big comeback win for Murrieta Valley, the Nighthawks are moving on up in our Inland Sports High School football rankings. Let's fire up the special graphic, very fancy, as the Nighthawks, we had to do it. The Nighthawks move up to number 3 in our rankings. They're a perfect 4-0 going into the Buena Park game this week. Norco's in front of them at 2. Vista Murrieta right there on their heels. Vista Murrieta 2-2. They've played some tough teams, but the Broncos are still right there. Followed by Cajon, the Rancho Verde, Heritage, and Kaiser. That rounds out the grade 8. The 4 more, Citrus Hill, Aquinas, Chaparral, and Citrus Valley. Who's next? Well, San Jacinto, man, they're lingering. They're ready to pounce. The Tigers are ready to pounce on the next team. And then, welcome to the party, everybody. It's Beaumont. Beaumont 5-0. I love Mountain Pass football. Look, we've got Beaumont, we got San Jacinto, and we got Citrus Hill all there in the rankings. We love Mountain Pass League football, but that's how it looks right now. Probably not a huge shakeup as we go into week 5, which is, again, a diet light version of a normal week. So not all the teams are playing, so I don't anticipate a whole lot of movement when we see the rankings next week. But here's how they look right now. We've got some juicy matchups coming up later in league play. Of course, Murrieta Valley against Vista Murrieta, Centennial against Norco, Rancho Verde against Heritage, Citrus Hill against San Jacinto, and Beaumont. There's some good ones coming our way. Citrus Valley against Cajon. Don't forget about that one. So big games coming up, but this week, kind of light. Not real juicy. That's okay. All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. We're gonna check in with the Kaiser Cats. The Kaiser Cats are off to an undefeated start, and they are one of a couple Inland Empire schools ranked number 1 in the latest CIF Southern Section rankings. We also have our Spoiled Slick Play. We've got our Kins Must See Game and our Boost broadcast schedule. We'll be back on the one and only Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Spoiled in Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Inland Sports. Speaking of USC, they did beat 10th ranked Utah. So like all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, the LA schools aren't so bad.
Week 3 is when LA shows up. All right.
Yeah, so UCLA, the comeback against Washington State. USC turns to another quarterback after Slovis got hurt, Matt Fink, and they still beat number 10 Utah. It was just a bizarre weekend, and that's just college football.
Right.
We haven't even got to the NFL yet. So the Raiders fell to the Minnesota Vikings 34-14. I bring it up because for two reasons. One, for the Minnesota Vikings, Alexander Madison, the running back, scored his first NFL touchdown.
Nice.
Alex, the pride of San Bernardino High School, Cardinal City.
Sports. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show. And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. It's the Inland Sports Show, and you just saw it every Monday and Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Make sure you get all your local sports on KCal Rocks 96.7 FM. Patrick and 40 in the mornings. I pop in there as well. We talk NFL, Dodgers, Lakers, and you just heard it. Alexander Madison, the pride of Cardinal City, USA, San Bernardino High School, with his first, which should be of many NFL touchdowns, getting that touchdown against the Raiders this past weekend. And Madison hurdling guys, jumping from the 5-yard line across the goal line in for the touchdown. Big win for Minnesota. So happy to see Alexander Madison starting off his NFL career so well with his first NFL touchdown against the Silver and Black. All right, we're talking more high school football. We got to talk about the Kaiser Cats. Listen, last year they had the leading rusher in the entire nation. They won a CIF Southern Section Championship in Division 8. They went to a state championship game. How could they do it all over again? Well, they're doing it, guys. Let's play some highlights of Kaiser in that big game against Los Osos, the Bears. They were both 4-0. They were both undefeated. Kaiser came into the game as the number 1 team in the CIF Southern Section Division 6 rankings. And they've got so many great players, including their quarterback right there. He's been in our studio before. He's one of our favorites, Trey Tribble. Well over 250 yards on the ground for Kaiser High School as they would go on to beat Los Osos in a back-and-forth slugfest between two undefeated teams. Los Osos was also 4-0 going into this game. Head coach Alex Pierce, offensive coordinator Vinny Fazio. You knew they were going to turn things around at Los Osos, and they've done it in a hurry. But this was a battle between unbeatens, and there goes Tribble all the way in for a touchdown. Again, this was like a heavyweight fight. Guys just landing punches back and forth they went. Final score, though, Kaiser outlasts Los Osos. 42-34 was the final score as Kaiser moves to 5-0 on the season. Still undefeated, still number 1 in Division 6 in the CIF Southern Section rankings. Now they get ready for Sunkist League play. Their biggest challenger this year in Sunkist League play, I'm going to have to say it's Summit. We've seen Summit once. It was a heartbreaking loss to San Gorgonio. So we'll see if Summit might be that team. Ooh, Tribble. Wow, do you see that? We'll see if Summit can find a way to slow down Ortiz and Tribble and the rest of the Kaiser Cats, because they look like they're set to defend that Sunkist League championship, which will maybe be their last Sunkist League title as they get ready to move to the Arrowhead Conference next year. So it's hard to say what league they'll be, what the league name will be in the Arrowhead Conference that they will be playing in, but they'll try to defend it as Tribble and Gabriel Ortiz and the Cats got that big win against Los Osos. 42-34 the final score. And that brings us to our spoiled slick play of the week, and it came from that very game. It was all tied at 28. Let's see what happens. Let's roll the video. Sports. The spoiled slick play of the week, here it comes. Tied at 28 in the fourth quarter with about 2 minutes to go. Gabriel Ortiz pops one off. 43 yards to the paint. Ortiz, get in there. That would give Kaiser the lead, and they would not look back. They took the lead 35-28, and that would be the difference. Tribble would add a touchdown in the waning minutes, in the waning seconds, as Kaiser wins 42-34. So that touchdown run by Ortiz, and it was a good one. The difference to put Kaiser ahead and put them ahead for good. So our spoiled slick play of the week goes to Gabriel Ortiz, who's been in this very studio here at Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16 with the Kaiser Cats. So congratulations, Gabriel. Live it up. You're a big star now as you're the spoiled slick play of the week award winner. All right, we've got one Thursday night football coming up. That's tomorrow night, one game that we will be covering, and it will be live on Inland Sports Radio. You can listen to it live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. It's also our Ken's must-see game of the week. Roll the fancy graphic. It's Santiago hosting Heritage. Big time high school football. This is for the big boys out there. Heritage going on the road at Santiago to wrap up non-league play. Both are in Division III for the playoffs. And I don't want to say that these teams are at a crossroads, but this is a big game for both of them. Heritage is 2-2. Santiago with just one win so far. They both could use a big win before they get into league play. For Heritage, that'll be the Ivy League. And for Santiago, that will be the land of the Big Eight. And we've seen how good Centennial and Norco have been so far. Roosevelt, the record does not indicate how good Roosevelt is. So, again, not saying they're at a crossroads, but one of these teams will get a little bit more momentum, a little confidence as they get ready for league play, because they're both going to go into some tough leagues, some tough league games, and they're both in Division III. So you got to strengthen your cause in league and finish as high as you can to get into the D3 playoffs. But they're both so talented. Once you actually just get into the playoffs, both teams can make a run. They're both that good. All right, and finally, our Boost broadcast schedule this week. We mentioned Heritage against Santiago. That's our live radio game on the Inland Sports Channel. And look, there's only a couple games. It's a very light week. No games on 1490 AM KMET. No games on Val Verde. Everyone's taking the night off. They're all going out to dinner. But a couple of us are working. We got Riverside TV, Paris against La Sierra on Friday night, and then Riverside TV with more college foosball on Saturday night, 6 o'clock, live from Wheelock Stadium. It's the number one team in the state, the number one team in the country, Riverside City hosting Long Beach City. That's Saturday, 6 o'clock. And of course, Sports Weekly Live, no days off. Who famously said that? Was that Bill Belichick of the Patriots? No days off. We're back Friday night, 11 o'clock, with all your high school football scores and highlights and all the good stuff on IEMG. And if you don't get Channel 3 in San Bernardino County, it's no big deal. I don't either. Go to IE Media Group on YouTube, and you can watch the show live 11 o'clock to midnight. So again, it's a very light week. It's like a diet version, not all the calories. You're getting some football, but not all the calories. Next week, another full plate of high school football as we will get into league play. Mountain Valley League, oh yeah, they started. Mountain Valley League actually already 2 games deep into MVL play, but everyone else will start league play come next week in week number 6, technically week number 6 of the high school football season. When we come back on the one and only Inland Sports Show live from the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio, we're going to check in with Centennial head coach Matt Logan. The Huskies getting ready to not only defend their Big 8 League championship, but again, make a deep run in Division I for the playoffs. Will they meet Bosco? Will they meet Mater Dei? It's kind of like the sun rising in the east. You just feel like it's going to happen. It's inevitable. So we're going to hear from Centennial head coach Matt Logan when we come back on the one and only Inland Sports Show, live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Maynard, the head football coach at the University of Redlands, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here. We're here at the new Boost Performance Center here at 500 Harrington Street in Corona, California. We got a bigger space, more room for strength training, speed training, everything our athletes need. We got our student athletes here getting their studying done. So some of the different things we're going to be offering here at the new Boost Performance Center is really focusing on recovery, whether that be physical therapy or active recovery with yoga. We're also going to be offering nutrition classes for the general public. So really taking a more well-rounded approach to fitness for athletes, of course. Come check us out at our new facility. We're going to be opening soon. Can't wait to have you guys here.
Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio. It's another edition of the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. Big week of high school football again. I say big, although it's kind of a light version, as a lot of teams have buys, including the Centennial Huskies. 3-2 through non-league play, getting ready for Big 8 league action. Joining us live on the show is one of our favorites and always so gracious with his time. It's the head coach of the Huskies, Matt Logan. Coach, how are you doing tonight? We're doing fine. So what does Matt Logan do during the bye week? You just practice, or do you get any downtime?
We do practice, but we go after school, and we don't have as many meetings and stuff. So we give the kids a little bit of a break. But unfortunately, the weather hasn't cooperated very much. So it's summer camp all over again.
Well, Coach, 3-2 through non-league play, coming off a huge win against Long Beach Poly, but do you think about the wins more, or do you think about the losses more when you go through a season?
Losses more, and we're happy with, the games we have won. But the big thing is we played pretty good competitive football teams that'll get us ready for league and for the playoffs, and that's the big thing, just about, getting better and improving each week.
Well, Coach, I consider you a friend, so I'm going to tell you a funny story real quick. So it was after church one Sunday, and I was out to eat, and this guy came up to me, and he says he goes to every single Centennial football game, home and away. Although he lives out in like the Redlands, Yucaipa area, but he goes to all your games. But he told me he watched your game against Mater Dei, and he's like, his conspiracy theory is, because he says he watches you all the time, that he's like, you know what? He's like, I think Centennial purposely did not show the entire playbook. I think they were playing it kind of light because they know they're going to probably play Mater Dei again down the road, so they didn't want to show them everything. He's predicting that you were kind of holding things back because you're planning to beat Mater Dei in the playoffs when you see him down the road. That's his conspiracy theory, at least.
Hey, let's go with that. That's something.
That sounds good to me, too. But, yeah, he's a big fan. I think his name was Mike, and he was a big fan of the Centennial football program. But, Coach, now you get ready to go into Big 8 league action. And, again, tough non-league schedule. You're going to play some good teams in Big 8 league action, headlined by Norco, obviously. But how do you see this team kind of progressing through non-league play and getting to Big 8 league and finally the third chapter of your season, which will be playoffs? Have you seen this team getting better, like progressing as you'd want it to see?
Yes, I have. I think the kids have done a good job working hard to improve. We have some injuries and we're working through the players for the season before our first game even played, and one in our third game. We're still an experienced team. Get better.
Well, Coach, we've talked about this before, that it's hard for any football team to platoon a couple quarterbacks. You've done it before. You've had a lot of success doing that before. But 3 quarterbacks, how do you keep everyone happy? Everyone's, winning games and getting their stats, and you've got 3 guys who are fantastic quarterbacks. But, how do you kind of navigate that? How do you kind of manage that and do it so well?
I think that 3 guys that are fantastic quarterbacks. I think the ideal situation by any stretch of the and they compete summer, spring, and fall, and really anybody that stepped ahead. But the good news is they're all playing well. So for our situation, it's good. All three get experience. The seniors get come out there for potential scholarships, and the junior gets good experience for returning for win-win. Really, thank goodness they're all self-type kids. Otherwise, it could be an issue. But they don't care how much they throw, how much they run for, and they're getting a third of the time. But as long as the team's winning and competing, that's all they care about.
Well, Coach, like the sun rising in the east, we know Centennial is going to score points. That's what you guys do. You always score a lot of points. But how proud are you of your defense right now? We know Corey Foreman, obviously one of the top defensive players in the country. But your defensive unit overall, I know we usually don't give them enough credit because when we talk Centennial, we talk about all the great offensive players. But can you praise the defense a little bit here on the show?
Absolutely. Well, in fact, the first game in particular, we were not playing well on offense at all, and they kept us in the game. We still couldn't do anything offensively to get us back into it, but they played great all year, and they're only getting better. And we're kind of learning as we go and getting more experience with some of these kids, and we're excited about them and where they've come.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate the time. You're always so gracious with us, and we do appreciate it. Try to enjoy a little bit of your bye week, and good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bring me on.
All right, that's Centennial head coach Matt Logan. Thank you, Coach. All right, the top dog of the Huskies of the Evil Empire, always making time for us, and we do appreciate it so much. Their league opener, which will be on October 4th against their Rimpau rival, Santiago. But, of course, the big one that everyone's probably circling right now is the Norco game. It's always a rivalry, and Norco looks especially good this year. So that should be a fantastic game between Centennial and Norco a little bit later down the road. But I love the conspiracy theory. I was so excited to share that with head coach Matt Logan. And that's a true story. After church, getting lunch with the family, some guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I watch all the Centennial games. I watch Matt Logan very closely." He's like, "I think when they played Mater Dei, they weren't showing their entire playbook. I think they were trying to kind of take it light, don't show Mater Dei everything they got because they're planning to see them again in the playoffs, and they're going to hit them with everything." You heard Matt Logan. He's going with it. That's a good theory. So we're going to go with that as well. So, again, Centennial will likely meet, Bosco or Mater Dei in those Division I semifinals. So big thanks to Matt Logan, one of our favorite guys, always in a good mood, always with a smile on his face. And why not when you're the head coach of the Centennial Huskies? All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio at Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16. How about the Bell game? It got really interesting between RCC and SBVC this past Saturday night, but the number one team in all the land, RCC, found a way to hold off the Wolverines. We've got some highlights and an exclusive post-game interview with the quarterback for RCC. I should say one of the quarterbacks, and he's the pride of Valley View High School in Moreno Valley, Jacob Barledge. That's coming up on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Centennial High School football coach Matt Logan. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Here at the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes, we provide a collegiate experience for our students. They study here, they train here, balancing that student athlete life. And it's a great experience. I recommend for anyone who's serious about their student and athlete life. So because we're a small private school, we're really able to bring a lot of technology to our students. So we're able to provide a lot of what you wouldn't find at your typical public school. We really feel like we're on the cutting edge of education and on sports development as well. So whether it be recovery or just their strength and speed development, you can find it here at the new Boost Performance Center. We're providing everything our athletes need to be the best student athletes they can be. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
Barlage to throw. Kennedy bobbling, comes up with it at the 30. Kennedy off to the races. Here's Kennedy in the open field. He's got a convoy. Kennedy to the house. Barlage will load it up down the field. He's got Kennedy. Touchdown.
You remember that guy, Tyler Kennedy, man, the pride of the Rancho Verde High School. He had a couple big touchdowns. He had 3 in all, and those were kind of like get your popcorn ready. You sit down with a bowl of popcorn, you sit back and watch because they're amazing. But Jacob Barlage, Tyler Kennedy, and the RCC Tigers with that big win against San Bernardino Valley College. 58-37 was that final score. That was Ghazal Hassan and Jeff Gorham on the call on Riverside TV this past Saturday night. We got some highlights from that game. There's a roll of the highlights from Wheelock Stadium, the Tigers and the Wolverines. RCC, they play 2 quarterbacks. We just heard from Matt Logan playing 3 quarterbacks, but RCC does 2 quarterbacks. Mike Irwin, who is a University of Oregon Ducks transfer, and also Jacob Barlage, the pride of Valley View High School. So both those guys get in there. That's Irwin wearing number 4. He looked good early on, connecting on a couple touchdowns. RCC jumped out to a 17-0 lead, and you kind of thought, oh no, here we go, because again, RCC, number 1 in the state, number 1 in the nation, according to the JC Gridiron rankings. Hey, but credit to the Wolverines. They battled back in this one, although Tyler Kennedy had some crazy touchdowns. There's another one for Tyler Kennedy, the pride of the Rancho Verde High School. But SBVC hung. There's Cole Schroeder out of Chaparral High School running in the touchdown for the Wolverines. At one point in the third quarter, in fact, it was right here after the field goal from Falk, who is a Citrus Hill product. It was 31-30 RCC. RCC was up by 1. But the Tigers would pull away in the third quarter and the start of the fourth. Barledge with the touchdown pass there. And here comes Barledge taking the plunge, going in for the touchdown here for RCC. Again, it was a one-point game, 31-30, but RCC took advantage of kind of a lull for the SBVC offense, and they pull away for the 58-37 win. So a big win for Jacob Barledge there, number 14, and the Tigers at a Wheelock Stadium as the Wolverines, credit to SBVC, they gave RCC all they could handle in this one as RCC remains undefeated. SBVC moves to 2-1, their first loss of the year, but San Bernardino Valley College looks like the odds-on favorite to roll to a division title and get back to that American Conference Championship game. After the big win for the Tigers, we had a chance to catch up with Jacob Barledge, the former Valley View High School quarterback who led the Eagles to a CIF Southern Section Championship just a couple seasons ago. Now he's splitting time at RCC with Mike Irwin at quarterback, but Barledge did a fantastic job, especially in the second half, which was kind of the difference in the game. Again, it was a one-point game in the third quarter. RCC put their foot on the gas, and they didn't look back. Here is Jacob Barledge, our exclusive with the former Valley View Eagle after the win for the Tigers.
Inland Sports.
I mean, we wanted it a lot. Coach Cook actually talked about like the history of it and that they used to pass the bell. And before the game, I was like, let's go get that bell, guys.
How sweet was it to get in there, not just get in there, but really, play a factor in this win and get some touchdowns, get your team in the end zone?
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I've watched these games since I was a little kid when my dad used to coach here. I mean, and when I played the first game on our home opener, it was like unreal. And then to throw like 3 touchdowns or however many it was tonight and just get better with every drive. I mean, I got to get better on that last one, but man, it's awesome.
And just knowing that you're the number 1 team in the state, and one poll has you number 1 in the nation. Yeah, in the nation too. I mean, every time you take the field, the other team is going to give you their best shot. Did you feel like SBVC was like, man, we're gonna give everything we got to these guys?
Yeah, we're talking to Coach Kraft. He was like, man, that was a grind game, guys. Defense did a great job in the second half. We did a great job getting better as the game went on. But man, they're a great team, and they're definitely going to get better.
Inland Sports.
Jacob Barledge, such a good dude, and always, again, making time for us after the game. It was a big win. In fact, he joined us live on Riverside TV for a live post-game interview. So if you would like, you can go back and watch the entire game on Riverside TV. That's the City of Riverside YouTube channel and the City of Riverside Facebook page. It was live last week. It'll be there forever. And now going forward, RCC back home, all the home games will be on Riverside TV. So the Tigers back home this Saturday for homecoming against Long Beach City. So if you want to see RCC again, you can't make it out to Wheelock, you can watch it live on Riverside TV. And finally, we love to leave you guys in the Inland Empire on a high note because we're all about the positivity here on the Inland Sports Show. Congratulations going out to University of Redlands head football coach Mike Maynard. Career win number 200 for the Bulldogs over the weekend. And not only was it a milestone win, number 200 for Mike Maynard, it was also a huge win for the U of R as they beat the 11th ranked team in the country, Linfield College, 27-19. So U of R undefeated on the year. They beat a great Linfield team. And now, get this, the University of Redlands has cracked the top 25 Division III national rankings. The Bulldogs are undefeated. Depending on what poll you look at, the Bulldogs, I believe, are number 19 in one of the national rankings, number 20 in the other. And again, when we had Mike Maynard on a couple weeks ago to preview the season for the University of Redlands for the rest of the season as they get into SCIAC play, I told him my dream, one of my bucket list items, was for the U of R to host a postseason Division III football game. And with wins like this, it's happening, guys. So make your way out to Ted Runner Stadium, the Runner out there, and see the Bulldogs now, because this is a really good college football team with a lot of high school football stars from the Inland Empire out there playing for Coach Maynard. So he's one of our favorites, one of the good guys out there, and a fantastic football coach with a great staff. Congrats, Coach Maynard, on win number 200, and it was a big one for the Bulldogs. Well, that's going to do it for this Inland Sports Show. We appreciate you tuning in tonight and every Wednesday night here at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio at Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16. We will be back here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel tomorrow night for live radio. It's going to be Heritage taking on Santiago, Cullen Holtz, Tim Hatch, myself, and even old intern Bobby. If you're an old Inland Sports Show fan, intern Bobby is back in the mix. So he's going to be joining us on the broadcast as well. Can't thank Johnny and Anthony and the entire Teen Vision TV 16 crew enough for making us look so good. And that is a very, very hard job. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. And we will see you next week for your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.